This is the Sistah Talk podcast, and I'm the queen of the sauce. I'm here with my co-host.
And I'm Miss BB, and that's with a Z.
And we're just two sisters with a lot to say. But even though the podcast is called Sistah Talk, we got something for the misters too.
Absolutely.
So, we a couple of days into 2023 right now. What you want to talk about this week, sis? Because it's always something going on.
Listen, definitely always something going on. Let's talk about how the year went so fast. It's 2023. I felt like it was just 2022.
I'm still stuck in 2020, to be honest. I always tell people 2020 was a blur.
Absolutely.
It was a blur. I feel like every year after that went just as fast as 2020.
And now that you even mention that, I don't even remember what happened in 2020, so I could definitely...
Oh, I remember what happened in 2020. Sis was going crazy in here, wrapped up in a blanket, like...
During COVID. Oh my... Listen, you know what? With that being said, anyway, let's talk about people with their new year, new me. A lot of people didn't do that this year. I felt like it was a cliche. People are just saying, I want to be better than I was last year. I can't say I don't agree with them. A lot happened last year, but we made it to 2023, and what do you got going on? What's going on for you, sis?
Well, before we get into what's going on with me, I personally feel like people was just, no new year, new me this year, because they realized that they couldn't hold themselves accountable to past New Year's resolutions. So it's just a lot easier to say, well, if I'm better than what I was last year, that's something.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? I'm not going to give y'all no shit for that. Excuse my language. But I'm not going to give y'all no shit for that because, at the end of the day, baby steps is still steps. Absolutely. So if you better than what you were last year, even if that's just, maybe 5 pounds lighter or 5 pounds heavier in your bank account, whatever it is, it is what it is.
Listen,
but what's been going on with me so far, this far in 2023... So we did release the film, Vicious Cycles.
Yes, and if you haven't tuned into that, you guys really need to. It was amazing. I was there. The vibe was great. It was just an awesome film.
Yep, so that obviously is the highlight of my 2022, and it's just starting off 2023 on a good foot for me. So that happened. And then also, I took a trip to Memphis at the end of the year, right after the premiere. And a lot of people don't know that Memphis has a lot of history there.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I didn't. I didn't know that at all. So that's first thing for me to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, so I didn't really realize how much history is there. Like, it's so much history in like Nashville area, like with music and stuff like that. Like country music, like I guess originated in Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm gonna go on a whim and say that. Don't correct me.
Yeah.
I'm going to whim. But Nashville is like the music, the country music capital. And then of course I went to Memphis, and Memphis has a lot of history as far as like the blues, like with like B.B. King, Isaac Hayes, Tina Turner, stuff like that. And then a lot of the things that I did while I was down there was heavily focused on like just our background as Black people.
Right. And
that trip for me was like very impactful because I got to see a lot of things that people don't typically see in their lifetime.
Right.
So one of the places we went to was this place called Slave Haven.
Okay.
And basically it was a museum that, goes through Africans in America. Okay. That's my new term. That's my new term. Because I'm not African American.
You're African.
I'm African in America.
Listen.
And they still ain't paid me no reparations. I want my 40 acres and a mule. Because God damn it, this country was built off our backs.
Listen, absolutely.
That's how I feel.
100%.
But yeah, so we went to Slave Haven. It was a museum that kind of just went through, the history of like, just how we were sold. Kind of like we were just sold on like blocks, like auction blocks for real. Sold like livestock, honestly.
Listen, in Black Friday, I'm gonna just put that in there. If you don't know, Black Friday is not Black Friday for shopping. It's when they sold the slaves on Friday. So
yeah, and a lot of people don't know that. No. A lot of people do not know that.
No,
and that's definitely an interesting fact. But one of the things that I think I found most interesting about the auctions and things that they did was they had these ads, pretty much these ads that go through what we look like. Like, it would be like a female, 35, I don't know, statuesque physique. And then it would say like rebellious. And the way that they kind of saw that we were rebellious is by how many marks and lashes that we had on our back from the whip. And that's how they could tell who was rebellious.
Right.
And if they could tell that you were rebellious, that's why they like strip you down butt naked so they can see everything. If they knew that you were rebellious, they would sell you at a discount because they knew nobody wanted to buy you at a full price. And I thought that was just so crazy because I'm like, yeah, we hear about it in schools, like we hear about, you know, slavery and stuff like that, but to really like be there
and witness it and see it, like that's just, listen.
Yeah, so like the whole thing about Slave Haven and the whole history behind it, I'll just give y'all a little bit of history about it because a lot of people don't know about it, and I didn't even know this place existed before going. It was a house, and don't quote me on this, but I believe his name was Jacob Burkle.
Okay.
And basically he was a white male, obviously, that bought basically this whole block at the time. Like it still stands today. At that time, it wasn't a block, obviously.
Right.
But he bought this whole area, and he had this home that was a safe haven for slaves.
Right.
And so basically, what he would do, he would help them. It was a stop on the Underground Railroad.
Okay. So
he had several spots in his home, under floorboards, in the cellar, all types of stuff where people could, you know, just stay, you know, under the floorboards while, you know, people were coming around searching for runaways and stuff like that.
Right.
So it was just very interesting because we got to actually go down into one of the cellar spaces. And the cellar space was, I think, the most emotional to me. Yeah. Because in that moment, obviously, I put myself in this position as my ancestors. And it was a moment where I actually got overwhelmed and I couldn't breathe.
Yeah, that's listen, that's deep. I feel like a lot of the people in our culture need to experience that because a lot of times we are put against each other instead of standing together. And it's very disheartening when you see us killing us. It's very heartbreaking. So I feel like everybody should go to Memphis and see it.
Absolutely. I agree. I mean, like, I learned so much. Like, it was, of course, a lot of things that I had heard about before. But there was a lot of things that was new to me. Right. And one of the things that was new to me was, you know, we hear about Amistad and like the revolts of the slaves and stuff like that, like the revolution. But the thing that I think stuck out to me the most was the fact that it was several revolts. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just two, the three that they want to tell us about. Right. It was several. And honestly, like, they painted a really good picture of letting us know, like, our ancestors, when they were stolen from Africa, they weren't slaves. They weren't a people that was unsophisticated. They were warriors. They were doctors. They were all these influential people. They knew so much. And so when they got here, that's why they tried to beat everything out of us because we had so much in us.
Listen, we were queens and we were kings.
Yes, and I think that's the most important part about it because, like, we forget in the midst of everything that even though they took us as captive, before we got here, we were more than that. Absolutely. And what they really did was just erase everything that we knew. So that was very interesting to me about, like, just the many revolts because, I mean, they tried, like, our ancestors tried, and that's why we have a lot of the rights that we have today is because all of them had the willpower to keep going. Right. And they did a large segment on, like, you know how, you ever heard about how the Africans use, like, braids as basically road maps?
No.
Never,
and please explain to me.
No. It's a thing. I wasn't even going to say nothing because I thought that was a thing that, like, a lot of people knew about.
No.
So, alright, so in certain tribes in Africa, that's where braids originated. Is basically the different patterns in your hair and stuff like that. Yeah. They would use that as a guide, as a road map for them to get to freedom.
And it's so crazy because now when us as women, men too as well, when we get our hair braided and it zigzags, that's where it originated from. That's crazy. I never do that. Right. That's so crazy. That gave me chills. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy, and it makes sense.
Yep.
It makes sense.
Yep.
There's a story behind everything. That's awesome.
So that's the part that I knew prior to going to Slave Haven.
Mm-hmm.
The part that I didn't know is, so you've ever seen like an old quilt like your grandma used to make or something?
Yeah.
Where it has like different, I don't want to say chevron, but like different chevron type of patterns and stuff. Like it got like blocks and like different patterns.
Like
and
it
stuff.
looks like it was put together, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was also used as a road mat. So basically, the homes that were helping the runaway slaves, get to where they were going,
Mm-hmm.
they would hang these quilts up on their laundry line.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, that would be a guide, like depending on whatever pattern it was, that was a guide to whoever passing by, which way to go, what to look for. And that was the part that really blew my mind, because that's the part that I never even knew.
And to think how like smart that is, that somebody could think like, okay, we're gonna put these braids in somebody's head, and we're gonna make it a map, or we're gonna put this together. That takes a lot of thought. That takes a lot of thought. That's pretty cool.
It definitely does. It definitely does. So we did Slave Haven.
Okay.
And that was, I mean, just overwhelming. And then also, and I know a lot of people as of lately, like, been posting about it on Facebook and stuff, which I was like, didn't even know that it was like, I put two and two together, that it was somewhere I really wanted to go, was the Civil Rights Museum.
Okay.
And so for those who don't know what the Civil Rights Museum is, the Civil Rights Museum is basically a combination with the Lorraine Motel where Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated.
Okay.
And so basically it's the actual hotel that he got assassinated, but basically they built a museum around it. So it's all connected. And so, just walking up to it, it's just like, wow, like it's like, I don't want to say nostalgia because I've never been there before, but it's like, it's just,
it probably feels nostalgic because at the end of the day, that's our history.
Right. Well, one of the most interesting things to me was realizing that slavery took place for 12 generations.
Okay.
We were enslaved for 250 years.
That's a long, long time. That's a long time.
Yeah.
250 years.
Yep. It's a very long time. And, that is why just even realizing what the Civil War is makes me even more upset. Because even after 13 years of enslavement, you still want to fight about whether you can own us or not.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like, get over it at this point.
Yeah.
We built the country. What else do you want from us at this point?
Right.
But I said all that to say, it takes us on this journey. We go through, the journey of what was going on in Memphis at the time that Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated. And then it ultimately wraps us around to the hotel room. And for me, that moment was like a surreal moment, because it was kind of like, it didn't register right away, because when I walked in there, I was like, oh, okay, like they got a replica of the hotel rooms. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm like, it's a replica.
Nah.
And then I go in there and I start looking, and then I look out this window and I'm like, this is looking out to the street that I just walked in from.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. Like, and that was when I started crying.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, oh my God. I am literally standing right here.
Where Martin Luther King was.
Man, I'm getting emotional even thinking about it again, because that moment, like, I guess it was God that moment played out the way that it did for me, because it really allowed me to connect. But one of the things I just forgot, because I did almost forget about this part as well. It was a part of the museum where there's a bus. And I don't want to share too, because I hate to share too much, but you still want to experience it.
Yeah, definitely.
But like, it was a bus. And of course, Rosa Parks.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, I went with one of my cousins that's from Memphis.
Okay.
And so we're walking and I see this bus. And I'm like, well, I think we can get on this bus, because it don't have little ropes and stuff roping it up, and don't say don't touch.
Right.
So, but my cousin was like, nah. Like, everybody was like chalking it up to like, nah, we can't get on. Like, we can't touch that. Like, they just kept walking.
Yeah.
But something was like, no, bro. Like, I know for a fact I could probably get on this bus.
Right.
So I go to the door, and I just peek my head in, and literally, it's like this iron figure that's a bus driver, obviously a white male bus driver,
Mm-hmm.
and he starts yelling at me off the rip. He's like, "Get to the back of the bus!" Like he was going off, and I was like, I jumped. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm scared!" Like I was like, "Oh my God!" When I tell you, that was the thing that made like really like planted me in that moment. When he started going off like that, I didn't even want to get on the bus at that point.
Right, and imagine our ancestors went through that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I couldn't imagine. I mean, a lot of people say we've heard it before. That couldn't have been me back then, because if that was me, I would have been. You don't know what you would have been doing because they didn't know anything else.
But you know what though, and I hate to be facetious about it. I really do. But one of the things, and I don't think I ever had this conversation with you, but I had this conversation with somebody. So you know about the paper bag test?
The paper bag test?
Yes.
If it has something to do with skin color, I think I've heard of it.
Yes. So the paper bag test is basically how they determine whether you were too dark or, you know, you were pretty much a house slave or a field slave, pretty much.
Okay.
And so I'm right on the cusp
of being,
because I'm probably about the same color as a paper bag.
Right.
And so I wonder where they would put me at. Because I'm gonna tell you what, I'm not built for the field.
Listen.
I mean, my build is for the field.
Right.
But I personally, my will and my being, please put me in somebody's kitchen.
And listen, I'm trying to be in the field, okay? So put her in the kitchen and put me in the field, because I'm ready. Say, nah, don't let me. I'm just kidding. But
look, hopefully we'll never get back there, because the way this world is going.
Yeah, listen.
Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen.
So we ain't gonna speak. Look.
Yeah. Not gonna
but yes. But yes, it was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm not gonna tell y'all nothing else because I would spoil it.
Yeah.
But oh my God, it was an amazing experience, and I didn't even get to see everything. I didn't even get to see everything. So I'm absolutely open to, you know, going back again. And if you see this video and you decide, hey, that sounds like something I want to do, definitely reach out and let me know. Like, I want to be on that bus.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna make this happen, because I believe that our people, one of the things that I think irritates me the most after going to this museum is realizing that our people today seem so far removed from a history that's not that far removed from us.
Absolutely.
Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated in like 1968. My father was born in 1970. You do the math.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for us to be so far removed, like it never existed, for us to not have any type of, well, I mean, don't get me wrong, black excellence does exist, but there's a lot more world that is like so uncouth, so everything just goes, no morals, no standards, and I just feel like our ancestors worked way too hard for us to just lose it.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you anymore.
Yeah.
It's very sad,
But yeah, that was a deep way to start the podcast. Absolutely. I promise y'all, like, it ain't deep like that the whole time. So I mean, I told my story, sis. I told you about what's going on with me. So what you got to talk about for this new year?
Listen, I think my first thing that I want to talk about is how Damar Hamlin. Everybody, listen. Even if you don't watch football, I'm pretty sure you were praying for him. To have a cardiac arrest moment on the field, to get hit that hard, to completely lose consciousness, and them performing CPR on the field, it gives me chills. I got chills right now. Just, you know, I like sports. I like football. I like basketball. I was a cheerleader, you know, all my life. And to see that happen to him broke my heart. Broke my heart. And I don't think a lot of people realize how dangerous football is. Yeah. It's a decent paid, you know, sport.
Right.
Yeah, but it is very, 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 very dangerous. And to me, it's just like, could there have been something that could have protected him from getting, I don't want to say hit that hard, but from that happening? Right. Could there have been something?
And honestly, I hope that somebody one day can invent something that will help these players, because like you said, it really is taxing on their bodies.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people know about the show, The Game.
Okay. Yes.
You ever seen The Game?
Yes. Yes.
Did you see the reboot of The Game?
No, I didn't.
So they did the reboot of The Game. They put it on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
I don't know why. Whatever. Paramount Plus, but I'm a diehard fan. I'm gonna watch it.
Right.
And I really love the new direction of what they're going in with this new season.
Okay.
Because it's touching on a lot of social issues. And so the reason why I brought that up is because, so you know the main character, like one of the main characters, Malik.
Yes.
So in this new season, Malik is pretty much battling a mental health issue that he developed from taking hard hits on the field.
And a lot of, I feel like now a lot of football players are coming out with these, issues from being hit and the concussions. It's very serious. It can a lot of people have killed themselves. A lot of people have hurt other people. Players have hurt other people. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
It definitely is. And so I just pulled this up just because. So, I have a friend that played football majority of his life. And he constantly tells me, like, he has to constantly remind me that his memory is terrible because of all the concussions and stuff that he had. We had a conversation about this like last week. He was telling me about this condition. And I believe it's this condition that I just pulled up called CTE. So it's called chronic traumatic, Lord forgive me.
It's okay.
There we go. We're gonna go with it. Encephalopathy.
Yeah. Excuse us,
but anyway, CTE is a brain condition thought to be linked with repeated head injuries and blows to the head. And so what he was telling me about it was that it's non-detectable until you die.
Wow.
They can't even detect it until you pass away, and then they can run tests on your body, on your brain, to see what you died from, and that's the only way they'll know.
Holy crap!
Right, that is scary.
Super scary.
And I feel like I kind of sensed that he was a little worried when he told me that, because I feel like he may have thought like, well, what if I got this? Like, and then he also kind of confided in me and let me know that he had a friend. And it was so like surreal, like it really did match up with The Game, because he was telling me he had a friend that passed away due to injury and stuff like that. And basically like the guy was seeing like apparitions of him. Like Malik was seeing apparitions of him. But in real life, my friend experienced the same type of scenario where his friend passed away from, right.
That is just nothing, it's just crazy. You can't, to even see all the football players down on their knees praying, crying, even the opposite team, respecting the fact that he was down and had no consciousness. And then don't quote me on this, but I want to say for almost like 40 minutes, they had to give him CPR on the field. They did bring the ambulance out and put him in the ambulance. They had to resurrect him at the hospital again. So that's dying twice. It's just, it's crazy. It's good to hear that he actually is awake now.
So I think one of the things that I found most intriguing about that scenario, and I know that's probably not the best word to use, was for the first time I feel like people challenge each other to look at these players as human beings, because I loved the fact that the tone that I saw surrounding his experience was he's not just a football player,
right?
He's not just a means to an end.
Siri,
we ain't talking to you.
We're not talking to you.
But no, like even with everything that was going on, like it was just so many people that was just like, he's not just a means to an end. Y'all worried about the score. Like this man, like this is his life. He was somebody's son. He was somebody's this. He was, you know what I mean? So I just thought that for the first time ever, we got to see football players be put in this light of being human and not just being a means to an end.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And with that being said, not only was there sympathy shown for the person that it happened to, there was also sympathy shown to the person that actually hit him.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't imagine how he feels.
Yeah.
It's not like he was trying to hurt him. He's literally playing a game just like he was. So I thought that was definitely dope on both aspects. Yeah, it's crazy. That was something that was weighing on me super heavy. So,
but yes, man, we are so happy that he is better.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, hopefully he takes the time that he needs away from the game.
Absolutely.
And you know, he just gets the support that he deserves for going through that scenario. But yeah, so I hate to, you know, transition us in a nonchalant type of way, but we're going to talk about conspiracy time.
Conspiracy time. Listen, everybody loves conspiracy time.
First of all, everybody loves TikTok.
Yes.
The TikTok.
Yes.
With the old poet called TikTok.
Yes. TikTok.
They don't know what to call it.
No,
but yes, this segment is called Conspiracy Talk. So for those who don't know what Conspiracy Talk is this lovely black hole on TikTok where they talk about all these conspiracy theories. Because I believe some of them.
Yeah, listen, me too, definitely.
So, one of the, and we're both going to share one because we both love conspiracies.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy about that because people be thinking I'm crazy.
Listen.
So now I finally get to share conspiracies with somebody. No one can be crazy.
No.
But yes. So for me personally, the one that I want to talk about that I've been seeing a lot of lately. Actually, I have two very short things. Because I know yours is like definitely way more serious than mine.
Yeah, a little bit serious.
The one that I want to talk about mostly is so lately with the weather. Have you noticed anything differently?
Listen, I've been noticing that the sun and the moon is out at the same time.
Oh.
I've been noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm noticing it a little bit more. Definitely. I think it's cool. A lot of people don't appreciate the sky.
Mm-hmm. But as a spiritual person, the Lord gives you signs in the sky if you pay attention to it.
It's just, you look up, sun's over here. You look up, the moon is right there. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. What is going on?
So you answered my question correctly. I follow this guy. I don't know his name, but if y'all want to know who he is, reach out to me. I'll let you know. But this guy, he was on his TikTok, and he basically exactly said the same thing that you said. The theory was that we are living in a dome. Now, I'm not going to say that I believe that we're in a dome, but I'm not going to totally say I don't believe it. I just know that when I'm in a plane and I'm above the clouds, I've looked up and I don't see no dome. Maybe it's way more higher than what we thought. I don't know. That's all I got to say. I don't know. Maybe it's beyond what I can see. But the theory is that we live in a dome, that our government is basically because of global warming. So basically, all right. So this is the way he broke it down. Let me try to break it down. When he broke it down, the way he broke it down was, all right. As melanated people, we require the sun, and we get a lot of our energy from the sun.
Hence why most people in the summer are a lot happier.
Exactly. Seasonal depression is a thing.
Super thing.
But his thing is that as melanated people, we thrive off of that sunshine. Like we tap into a power that we don't even know we have because of the sunshine. So his theory is that as melanated people, we need the sunshine to thrive and everything like that, and we can tap into a power that we don't even know that we have. And so basically his theory is that the government is trying to block the sun so that we can't be our higher selves. But now the other side of that conspiracy is, so that's one theory, but then the other theory that may not be such a theory at all. This is the one I'm more, not to say that I don't believe that they're trying to block us, but I don't think that is that deep.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But then again, they did enslave us for like 13 generations, so I don't know.
We did just learn that.
But yes.
So.
But the other theory is that global warming. So we all know that global warming has been a thing in the media for a while now, and it's been something that they've been talking about in politics for a while. one of the theories is that because global warming is happening so rapidly, that basically they came up with this solution so that they basically spray some type of chemical or whatever to create these clouds that cover the whole sky. And so basically they cover up the sun to keep it from warming the earth. And I believe.
Yeah.
Because as of lately, can you say you looked up in the sky and you can't even see the damn sky because there's so many damn clouds all the time lately?
Yeah.
And then I was just talking to my other friend. Cause she was like, I rubbed off. She told me today, she was like, you rubbed off on me. Cause like I used to didn't think about what it looked like outside. But I'm one of those people that I need sunshine. I do. But I told her, I said, bro, do you realize that the sun don't come up until like 8 o'clock in the morning? When the hell did that start happening?
Right.
The sun ain't never came up that damn late. And even still, when it comes up, it's still not out.
Yeah. Very true. It's very true.
The moon be out.
True.
Unblocked. I can see the moon on any day, any occasion. I have not seen the sun in how long? Conspiracy? Why not?
Listen. Listen. That got me thinking. Definitely. That got me thinking a little bit more than I already did. So, start looking at the sky. A little bit more. If you didn't get anything from that, start looking at the sky and watching TikTok. Anyway.
I mean, conspiracy side. I'm gonna tell you, it's a rabbit hole for sure.
Absolutely.
However, I'm one of those people, like, you gotta know what to take in and what not to. Like, take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the other conspiracy talk that lately kind of grabbed my attention was what angels really look like.
I want to say that I think that I've seen something about that, but don't quote me on it. So please enlighten me.
So when you see and when you think about an angel, what do you picture that they look like?
I picture this is gonna sound really funny, but I picture somebody like see-through. I don't know why. See-through, wings, glowing light. Wings, see-through, glowing light. That's what I...
Well, I'm glad that's your depiction of an angel, because many people would say, what? Something big with white wings and person.
I just see, I don't feel like they have a shape. I just, wings, bright light, flapping. That's how I depict it, but...
Right. But what's the typical that they push to us? Is that person that has white wings or something.
Yeah,
that's what they want us to believe that an angel looks like.
Right.
That's what I was trying to get you to
I
get.
got you. Listen, I was way...
But so I saw this one woman on there, and she went down this rabbit hole of like what angels really look like, and she had showed some pictures. I'm like, bro, that's creepy as hell. And I was just like, at first I was like, I don't know if I should believe this.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you something. Because I am a spiritual person, God led me to a passage in the Bible that confirmed what she was saying. And she was one of the people that goes through ancient books and all types of other stuff. So it was gravity there. But I'm going to show you.
Please show me.
And I'm going to put up a picture on the screen for y'all so y'all can see.
Okay.
But this is what they say an angel really looks like. This right here. One of the depictions. And there's nothing pretty about it. It's kind of scary.
It's definitely kind of scary. And it's crazy because when you put this picture up for everybody to see, Malcolm is definitely going to be like, I told you so. Because he showed me a picture like that.
And it says it in the Bible. It says it in the Bible.
That's
I wish
crazy.
I had my Bible in front of me. I'm not going to do that to y'all today. However, it's a passage in the Bible that goes through exactly what these angels look like. And they're not like human like at all.
No.
So I don't know. Conspiracy or not.
Interesting. I'm still staring at it. If y'all are wondering what I'm doing.
I want to turn it around for y'all, but I'm gonna put it on the screen. I'm gonna put it on the screen for y'all to see it. But it really is one of them things, like, because when you really when you first look at it, you're like, nah, ain't no way.
Yeah, like
Ain't no way.
And that's supposed to be friendly, like.
Right. That thing, man, give you nightmares.
Listen, definitely.
But I guess it's a testament to how strong angels are.
Okay.
So, those were my conspiracies.
Okay. Well, I'm a little on a heavier note. My conspiracy, but I don't know if you would call it a conspiracy. It's about the Idaho killing of the college students. Man, where do you even start? There was 6 of them that lived in a 3-level apartment, 2 on the bottom, 2 in the middle, 2 on the top. Supposedly, the 2 in the middle and the 2 on the top got murdered by. Now don't quote me. I think he worked at their college. If not, if he didn't work there, he went there. But I'm pretty sure he worked there as a student teacher. And for a while, he was getting away with it. They didn't even know who did it. It was a mystery.
Yeah, but it says 6 weeks after the murder was a suspect arrested.
Absolutely. So what I find creepy is that, y'all, he resided in Pennsylvania. Dang.
I mean, listen. It don't surprise me.
Right,
I've watched enough killer cases to know them weirdos out in the field.
So that's first thing first. And not to be disheartening on the situation itself, but it's just very unfortunate because it's like, goodness, we're both in the position where sooner or later we're going to have kids.
Yeah.
And to send them off in this world that we think, we raised them, right? And it did say that this house was a party house.
They say he went to the Sigma Chi house.
Yep. It was a big party house. So, and I think it's just so scary how he was kind of preying on them. He was preying on them, and it just makes you think, like, the 2 people in the bottom survived. I know when I'm sleeping at my house, any little noise I'm listening to. I am hearing it. I'm looking out I'm scary, okay? I admit it. But they didn't hear anything. This just came out, I want to say, maybe a few days ago, that one of the girls that were living on the bottom actually woke up and heard something. Went upstairs, seen him in all black. Well, heard her roommate, I guess, saying, like, he's not supposed to be in here, or what are you doing in here? And then heard another voice that she did not recognize say, it's okay. And this figure, him, walks past her, and she just froze. She didn't know, and froze and went back to her room. And then I guess he finished off murdering her, and it was a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and then 2 females. And to me, that's just so scary. Lock your doors, carry your pepper spray, watch your surroundings. Just be safe. And it's just really unfortunate, and I'm happy that they did catch him. Yeah. But he's still saying that he's gonna plead not guilty.
That's crazy as I don't know what.
Listen, super crazy. And I didn't experience the college life, but I know you have. So, were you ever in a situation where you were like...
I hate to laugh about this, but anybody that went to Shippensburg University knows that it was these stairs that everybody called the rape stairs.
Oh gosh. What in the world?
Yes. Everybody used to call these long stairs on this one dark side of the campus that led to, like, kind of like the towny area, but it was still like the college town type part. And they would call it the rape stairs. And so it wasn't funny, and I'm not really sure if there was any reason to why they called them rape stairs other than the fact that they were just sketchy stairs. But with that being said, like, being on campus and stuff, it definitely made me feel like, okay, and knowing that they named those stairs that, one, it made me take a different route.
Yeah.
Number one.
Absolutely.
But I don't think there was any time that I really felt out of the ordinary, and maybe I should have. I always chalk up my, being safe to having a praying mother, because even when I'm not thinking, she's praying.
Absolutely.
So it was never a moment where I felt unsafe as far as anything like, serial killer wise or nothing like that. But a lot of people that went to Shippensburg know it was a lot of shootings on Shippensburg campus. And that was typically from people who would come out of town to come to Shippensburg parties. And then it would be like, a few between them and the people that live here. But I never felt uncomfortable in that way. But also, I can't say that I lived off campus, because my first year there, I did live in like the apartment style homes, but it was still on campus.
Right.
And then the second year that I was there, I messed around and forgot to do my room plan and ended up in the damn dorms.
Oh shit.
So they had us on lockdown. Okay, I had to show my ID every time I came in there.
Oh, okay.
So I never was in a position where I felt unsafe.
Got you. Well, that's good. That I just feel like this is kind of, I wouldn't say a wake up call, but I mean, if I recall, there hasn't been anything that's really happened this dramatic in a college. There's been a lot of school shootings and people going to elementary schools and high schools, but as in college, it's been a while since something like this has happened to a college. So it's just a good reminder that be safe.
Yeah.
Make sure you're buddying up. Make sure you're watching your surroundings, and there are still crazy people out here.
Heck yes. Not ours still. It's more crazy people today than there ever was. Okay? That daggone pandemic did a number on everybody mentally. People just snapping, okay? So yes, like she said, be safe. But yeah, sis, you got anything else you want to talk about, or is that all we got for this week?
That's all we got for this week.
That's all we got for y'all this week. So I hope y'all enjoyed the Sister Talk with the Queen of the Sauce and my co-host,
Miss BB, and remember that's what it's be.
And you can find me on social media at goldchain__diva, and you can find her.
You can find me on Instagram, Miss BB MZ_BD.
Yep, and if you want to chime in on any of the topics that we talked about tonight, definitely drop a comment in the comment section on our YouTube channel, and we'll be sure to address all those different things on our next episode. So we hope you enjoyed tonight's episode, and come back to see us again.
Right.